Hello, chat. Not gonna lie, I would rather be back in the bed right now. I'm late, I know. Been a tiring week. Let's see. I've had a horrible stomach issue. I had a very long talk yesterday. I had to travel across cities for almost entire, for multiple hours. And I barely slept last night. I think I went to bed around 10, 11 p.m. And I woke up at 1 a.m. or something from earthquake. And I didn't go back to bed until 7 to 8 a.m. And here we are, 10:40 something a.m. Yeah, very tired. Yeah. Also, I ran out of tea. So, my throat is gonna be killer today. It's already feeling pretty bad right now. I don't know if you can tell. My throat is dying. Ideally, before a stream, I would have gotten plenty of tea, so I can have them during the stream. Don't get that luxury today because yeah, I don't have the time to get some. Just drink water then. Yeah, I can. You know what? I'm gonna go do that real quick. Actually, let's get some water. Okay, I'll give you that. Better than nothing. Blech. Tired. Okay. Let's bring up... How am I gonna do this? Because we're mostly gonna be working on window today, and let's see. Guess I'll borrow the edge window. I'll tell you what. Let's throw up the actual edge real quick. I mean, the actual browser. Also, why is the background black? There it is. Thank you. Okay, well, let's give a little backstory first. Is there a way I can have it resized to... Oh yeah, I probably can actually. Filters, scaling. $1080. No, it's not slides. We're not that fancy. Oh wait, it's not even the right video. What am I doing? It's what was it, the Jason film or whatever? Right, so I've been revisiting some of S'more's older video. You know, not because I wanted to watch them, but more like because I had nothing to listen to when I was working. So I was like, you know what? Let's put on some S'mores. All right. So in case you've never seen their content, they mostly do like cheapo or like random electronics review, and they're most known for they're most well known for looking at bootleg phones and electronics, mostly phones, like phone knockoffs and various things. And so, you know, when I was revisiting the library the other day, I stumbled across this Jason phone. Like, this is not the first time I watched the video, but I actually completely forgot about it until this thing came around. Let's see. Where is it? Here.
In there somewhere. Memory, we have 4 gigabytes listed there. Performance-wise, since it's stock, it's fairly fast for the most part. Pin and pump counts. Well, I don't think my okay. Keep Google, please. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Why am I in 2000? I guess just Google language is an input phone. Sit date 2019 number.
Where
Does that
is
match?
it?
But it just doesn't work. So I'm not too sure what's going on there. Also, the IMEIs don't match. IMEI slot 1 is not that sticker that's in here. Like in the situation. Cato Easter egg. Ouch. Which things?
Okay, no, not this part. Where is it? Here.
But now I want to talk about all of the weird things that have been going on with this device. Now, I'm actually back on Optus. I went to do the call quality test, put the Vodafone SIM in, and now it can't receive calls from Vodafone. So I tried Telstra again, same thing, and then back to Optus, nothing. I try and call it, it doesn't go through, and then it just says you missed a call from the number. So that's one thing. The second thing is, this is really buggy. For example, sign into my Wi-Fi network and sign into my Optus network. The Optus network is fine. That's just because I don't have any credit on it. But for Wi-Fi, I'm clearly connected to Wi-Fi, but yet it still tells me that I have to sign into it. The phone also became really, really slow when taking photos. Laggy with the 4 gigs of RAM and whatever processor it's got in this. It's just struggling. Stuff has randomly crashed on me, like I was in the Play Store and that crashed, I opened it again, it crashed. That's been fun, but the weirdest thing that's been happening with this is that I've been receiving calls from random numbers. As you can see here, I have a +33777 number, a 1400 number, a London number, and one from Texas. I went to answer them and just hung up straight away. So that was a bit sus, but I also got a WhatsApp verification code sent to me. There was also a PayPal one as well, but that seems to have disappeared. So from just that experience alone, I'm gonna say this phone is not worth it. I mean, considering it doesn't work in Australia, which is not Happy Here's fault. They said that it's likely not gonna work here anyways. There's just these weird, strange things that are going on with this device. And combined with it being glitchy and the performance just not being there, I just highly recommend don't purchase this.
Right, so, little background with what he's talking about. So, he always uses the, I think he almost always uses the same SIM cards set for like all of his test phones. And, so we can't really narrow down if what he's experiencing is necessarily related to his current device, but you know, based on the rest of the reviews, it seems like there were many problems with the system in general, and it was just very dodgy. And so with every one of his reviews, he does leave like the system files that you can go through if he can dump them. So let me bring up the system files that he's uploaded. Give me a little bit. I don't really know how well you can see this. Make that way bigger. Crop that. Crop that. Crop that. Okay. So, we're gonna be digging through the system files today. Now how do I want to do this? I'm actually not sure. So there's gonna be shit tons of files in here, and not entirely sure where to start aside from just looking through the apps first, and then I guess the libraries next. But you know, we're gonna be like, oh, there's gonna be plenty of apps. How the heck are you gonna do that? Yeah, good question. So I guess we just go through the apps and see if there are any things that are not like from AOSP. I.e., something that clearly does not look like stock apps. Window capture. Okay. My throat still hurts, by the way. I think I had my talk for way too long yesterday. Okay. So let's sort by APK. Let's make this bigger. Here we go. Okay. So, I think there's gotta be a place where you list the apps, right? Yeah, here.
Correct.
Actually, there's a faster way to do this. Just look up virus total. God, my throat hurts. Virus total. I can't spell apparently. So what we do is we get the hashes, copy everything. Okay, we can't bulk search without an account. Well, that's a bit of a problem. Alright. I guess we'll just search one by one then. Because I'm not logged into my work account for this. Ooh, that's gonna take a while. Okay. No search found. Okay, we're already running into a bit of a problem. The first 3 APKs are not on BT already. Well, I mean, I guess we can upload them. Why not? Yeah, sure. You have a virus total account. You'll probably be able to use that account to track me. It's alright. At least this is like an anonymous session. Yeah, debug key. Yep, that's not really an issue. And if we do run into like a problematic APK, then at least we can run it through triage. But I have a feeling if it's anything that's really problematic, it's probably going to be Assistant Library. We'll see. How are these APK hashes not matching at all? Weird. Because some of these look like generic Android services. Are you batch searching the files again on VT? You usually just paste the hashes in there. But yeah, it does not work if you don't have a premium account. And like I said, I'm not gonna log into my work account on this for the stream. So we're just gonna have to check one by one. You're dragging in the files one by one. Yep. As stupid as that sounds. Yep. I mean, you could of course upload it one by one through. I mean, you can of course like pack it and then upload it. But that won't always work, and it can take a little while for it to propagate. So we'll just have to do this one by one. I'm not a robot. Yes. I think. I love how there's a category that's just called scan failed. Alright, bro. VT already does not like me. So far, all of these look normal. By the way, just as a reminder, if you're gonna do this at home, whenever you interact with VT, there's always going to... You're always going to be leaving some amount of data to VT when you submit a file, which includes your country and an anonymous ID that'll be associated with the submission record. Have there been any prior analysis done to this by anyone else? Not that I know of. I mean, ideally, we should just... the main problem with what we're doing right now is just at least trying to narrow down, A, if there are any problematic APKs at all, and B, is the device actually malicious in the first place? Because we don't know if it's actually the device, this specific device, that was problematic. Because for all we know, maybe the SIM card and or other thing and or the phone number was compromised to begin with. So far, none of these really tell me anything. Oh yeah, I guess there's another way to check that. We could check if the thumbprints match existing Android. Ones. Yeah, so every APK is going to be signed, at least hopefully, and with the signature, every certificate is going to have its own thumbprint. So it looks like there are 2 sets of thumbprints. One starts with 27, and the other starts with 16 and 1. This one's a Qualcomm device and not a MediaTek. Usually all her reviews are MediaTek devices because, you know, they're cheapo phones. I really hate how Bitdefender and TrustLook just marks every debug key sign binaries as quote-unquote malicious. Because I don't think, I don't know if they can mark them as like suspicious or whatever. Like that's gonna be very misleading. There's also a chance that something malicious could actually slip by the checks. So we're only really using these scans like as like a baseline reference. I mean, I suppose there's also another way I can do this. Well, let's see. Dump APK badging. I gotta figure out something, a faster and better solution. Hang on. Bring up PowerShell real quick. Okay. I want to temporarily turn off. What's the name? I want to temporarily turn off the Oh My Posh module because I know it's been lagging a lot lately. Let's do that real quick, actually. Okay. So I guess another way we can do this is ls apk, and we want to do, what's the command for dumping the badging again? Let's see. APK APT dump badging. Let's dump all of this to output.txt. Let's do parallel th8. Would that even give me what I want? Oh yeah, okay, it does. Hello, thank you for the follow. Hello. Okay. Yeah, really gives me a jump scare sometimes. Okay. What we can do now is we can do a search for a package name. Window capture. VS Code. Okay. Let's do search like that. Actually, there do regex copy to new document. Aha. Okay, that'll give us a list of package IDs. So, with this, we should at least be able to quickly identify anything that does not look like a standard one. Sort. What's this OpenWNN? Omron Soft. OpenWNN. Okay. Okay, we'll let that do its thing. Oh, it's pack processor. Okay, I think that's normal, yeah. Yeah, I think that's normal. It's just an input method, I think. Alright. Pico TTS looks normal. com.example.android.notepad. What? JDX time? Yeah, well, we're gonna do that after we find what we're looking for. Why does this notepad look so suspicious? Actually, you know what? Ooh. Okay, this is very sus. Why does it need phone permission? Oh, no way, that's a completely different package. Oops. No, never mind. Still, though, very strange package name. The fact that it only has like 4 different language label, and the way Notepad is spelled is very weird. Let's see. Maybe it's normal. Who knows? Notepad. I'm getting thrown a CAPTCHA again. No, not you. Notepad. Guess we can also open the JDX. I have JDX pulled up. I know you guys can't see it, but it looks fairly normal for this APK. Let's see, let's try something else. This is probably fine as well. Let's see. Wireless update. Okay, I'm not entirely sure about this one. Also, hang on a second. I'm gonna go downstairs and grab some stuff. Obtained something to munch on. Okay. Okay, this one is signed by adups.cn. Sorry, let me open this up first. If I can figure out how to open this. Or just like open up things like you have no idea how the hell they managed to put the thing together, and you're just struggling trying to open the package. There it is. Okay. Oh, hey, blue light Android phones? Yes, exactly. And then you should be familiar with this one. Because more is the review on it. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Actually, for initial surveying, I actually like to use... What's it called again? Hang on. I can never remember the names because I have them registered to my context menu instead of actually opening up the app every time. It's GDA, yeah. So, I actually like to do initial surveying with GDA. Let me bring up GDA. Which bootleg is this? It's the Jason phone. You know, the one that gave him weird SMS messages. Yep, that one. If I open up GDA with Lokai Miller, I know you guys can't see anything right now. Give me a bit. You guys are gonna have to excuse the crunchy noises. Sorry, I'm just a little tired right now. I really need that extra energy. Right. So let's hang on. let's explain what GDA is. So GDA is also another decompiler kind of tool. GDA is freely available on GitHub. It comes with free and quote unquote premium edition. And I usually prefer JDX's output for the disassembly view for Mali, but the good thing about GDA is that it can actually give you like a quick rough analysis of the capabilities of the APKs. Oh yeah, it's also developed by Chinese, so there's that. I can switch the language back to English. Hang on. That way, it'll be a little better for you guys. Yeah, I typically don't like the output of GDA, mainly because it's not super accurate and the UI kind of sucks. I don't know if you can tell. The every time I change the font and I exit the app, it just goes back to the default font, which is this horrible Chinese looking font. I'm gonna try setting the font again, otherwise this is gonna drive me nuts. Also, if that's JDX behind there, you're telling me as a dark mode, it does. So you go into preferences. You guys can't see it because there. Wait, is it in preferences? Is it updated? Unless it's in. Where is it? They update the preferences window? Because I do not remember it looking like that. Wow, I guess they did, huh? But yeah, it's supposed to be under appearances. Yeah, they definitely updated this window. This preference window used to be horrible. Now it's a lot more tolerable. But yeah, you can change the theme here. Okay, I just finished munching that. Let's put that out of the way. Way too much sugar. Holy shit. Okay, so I'm actually not entirely sure if this updater is actually unique to this ROM. And to verify that, I'm gonna have to log into my Verisolo account. If you do a little bit of search, don't tell my boss. You've seen this up there on multiple bootleg devices. To be honest, I don't think this updater is problematic. Now, even without looking at the assembly view, I don't think this is it, because it's on many devices, many other devices as well. That's why I'm about to do a bit of a search on BT to verify. Oh, that was definitely a bit of a sugar overload. Ugh, God. Okay. Alright, give me a little bit. I have to hide my username as well. Let's try not to dox myself or leak anything. Here we go. Okay. So what we can do is we can just look up the signature name. Oh yeah, it was actually there's a lot of stuff that's signed by the same cert, or rather the same CN. Search by thumbprint. Oh, one of them is marked by 13 vendors. What's going on here? Huh. Your work account? Yeah, don't tell anyone that. I mean, not my work account. This is my personal account. Yeah. Okay. Let's bring this up. I guess we'll investigate ourselves, because I'm actually seeing a few suspicious apps that's signed by the same cert. The only way to confirm whether or not this is actually malicious is to actually look at the damn code. Alright, so what I'd like to do is to check if there are any to check whether or not it has any extra libraries that are packed with the APK. So you just extract it. So at least there's only one dex file. What is BKS files? They were just stuff that's signed by the same cert. Okay. In that case, I want to see if there are any strings that reference it. PDA. It runs like ass, by the way. But another thing I like about GDA is that it actually has a string search view. I don't know why JDX doesn't have that. You know, much like how you typically use IDA, at least you can do like a cross-reference search in GDA. It just, where'd it go? It's still running, I guess. Give it a little bit. Actually, I think it bugged. Great application, guys. Oh my god. This thing truly runs like ass. GDA. So if we, in case we can't locate the actual malicious binary today, also, it's not guaranteed that this is going to be malicious anyways in the first place. In case of that, I do have a backup plan for what we want to look at today. Yeah, I know GDA 4.1 is out. Get out of here. So I want to look at all strings. I want to look for, what is it called? The BKS files. Yeah, it looks like it's just downloading the ROM. What does it mean by system damaged? Just realized it's not very particularly readable for you guys. It's a little better. Let's see. Yeah, I think the BKS files are actually just typical certs. Nothing unusual about that. Yeah. Nothing unusual about that. Right. None strange activities on XML files? No. Why is it creating the string that way? That looks oddly suspicious, like how a stack string will usually be created. Where is it? It's in shell.iBinder. Under com.adups. No, here it is. Yeah, it's specifically creating these strings using a series of chars instead of a whole string. Typically, how think of it as how stack strings work, but also not quite the same. Basically, it's instead of creating an entire string so that it can be picked up by various scanning signatures or just using strings in general. It makes it so that every string that's going to be stored in the binary is going to end up being stored by just one char. Is there a reason for doing this that isn't evading detection or obfuscation? Exactly. There's not really a good reason for doing that. So let's see. When is command being run? You can exec with SU if it wants, I guess. Yeah. Wait, where are we? Command service. com.adups.library.ac. Library.ac. Command service. Yeah, it does check for root as well. Yeah, I saw those too. But that's still not good enough to call it a rat yet. Because that would be a very strangely limiting rat. Rename file. What? What's DS doing here? Hello? I guess that's used as the IV. Okay. I mean, I don't see why you would need to do that for Updater in the first place. Get phone network type. Oh yeah. These phones basically almost never get updates. I don't know if that was the first time where S'mores ever did one of these and actually got an update. At least not with these applications. ap.apups.com is the host. Reports to app control server report.do. Where is this report path used? Ah, yes, a very normal thing to do. To report when your connectivity changes. Alright. Speaking of, I want to know why get phone network type was ever used. Oh. Okay, when is this called? control. Okay. Right. Okay, yeah. Local times. Install apps equals A. What's A? Passes a list. What up? We're looking at a Dodgy phone ABK. That comes with a Dodgy phone. Yeah, we're looking at a the insides of an APK. Be back if you're still online. I should still be here for a while, so. What is this report bean stuff? Speaking of dodgy stuff, I'm looking to do some freelancing. I was wondering if you have any advice. Depends on what you mean by freelancing. Like what job? Back-end development mostly. That's not really my expertise. Since I do malware analysis for work. Advice in a more generic way. I mean, I also don't do freelancing. That's another thing. Okay, so we know this thing can retrieve down task. But yeah, I do work for a company, and I'm a full-time. I got a phone call. Hang on. I only got a package. Yeah, I don't do freelancing. That's the thing. I'm a full-time employee. I want to see what this thing does. Let's pull up triage. Let's see what it actually does in real time. Oh yeah, the public sandbox. It's gonna require an account. Give me a little bit. Yeah. Weather outside is not looking great. It looks very cloudy outside. You used to work for a company before? Don't think I can do any more 9 to 5 for an organization because people in the organizations are weird. I mean, I'm personally still working for a quote-unquote, and it's more like 9 to 6, but it's more like because we have a 2-hour lunch break, but yeah. Well, what do you mean by weird? I swear this thing always just sits there and does absolutely nothing. In this case, it'd be valid because, you know, it's not meant to be used on a regular random OS. But I should probably just tell you that instead of just spin around forever. Network connection failed. Unacceptable certificate. Oh, that server's broke down already. Let's see. Let's see where it connects to. So it tries to connect to flood 5.80 UPS. Can we get the PCAP for this? I want to see the HTTP request. Remind me later. Oh, it is not decrypted by triage. Well, that's annoying. Terminate. Terminate. It's like, for what reason, this is the only one that's resolving to the Fallout 5 domain. But that doesn't really help us because I was hoping that. So, if, in case you never used triage before, triage actually normally does. It normally places its own MITM certificate at like the host level. So all the outgoing and incoming traffic actually gets decrypted in the pcap.ng file. But not the case for Android. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, I just square one it is. Yeah, I hope you're not hard coding your secret. Project mid, IMEI network was version model. It's more like a JSON wrapper than anything. Oh yeah, it just sets the value for the various fields. Hello, Ren. What do you suggest I do? Because some secrets need to be client-side, for example. You typically give it its own API key and then restrict its usage. But it really, actually, you know what? Probably not good advice to ask me. Because that's not really something I'd be personally and be an expert on. But typically, when we're talking about secrets, you don't want it to be hard-coded. But I can understand if the client needs it. So I don't really have a good solution for that. Is it sleepy hours? Yeah, I guess. I'm tired. Report tag 2. Wait, if you don't have network, how are you gonna report? Why do I have the weirdest questions? Not really. I consider that a normal question. It's just not something I can answer properly. Okay, so we know this thing can execute commands. Also, thank you for the follow. Sorry, dude. What else? Because that would be a very limiting rat if that's all it did. I mean, this is not the first time I've seen some rat that's very limited, but still. Device.utils. We also have to look at the other one, by the way. There's also that reboot one we gotta look at. What else is in there? Okay. No worries. Actually, let's back off a little bit. I want to look at when the whole command thingy actually gets called. I mean, like, outside of this class. Okay, it does not like to that particular function. Great. It does try to execute whatever that binary is. Problem is, so it's the second one. B plus D. B is SD card. D is that. Sorry, what? Why is it opening the dialer? Start dial intent. Get launch intent for package. Returns a good intent for launch front door. Activity in the package to implement a open button when browsing through package. Wolf. You're back in the updates? Kinda. Hang on. So that should launch the target app. Yeah, it makes something executable, and then it does try to execute it. And it actually executes as system actually, which would run this as exec. Actually, no, I think it just runs it as a normal user. But still, not ideal. Oh wait, this binder dot with context execute. Actually, I don't see how that would execute as SU. Well, either way, that's also sus. Also, hello there. Get package version code. Get launch intent for package. Base fster directory. What time is it for you? It's 12 p.m. here. It is 12 a.m. there. Hello, welcome as an American audience then. I live on the exact opposite side of the world. Yeah, it takes you back to home. Yeah. Return, open launcher, home. What? I've been following you since the leak. Well, hello. What is G being set by? Okay, so we know this is gonna open up the URL. Oh, web activity. Yeah, it says that. Oops, guess I missed that. Oh, PM install. Hello. How did I miss that? A insta. Oh. Get target package name. So that's gonna install package. Any cool security projects you're doing, or just looking at a dodgy Chinese phone updater thing that lags more like a rat than anything? We're not writing any code. We're reverse engineering stuff, which is the whole purpose of REWorkshop. We look at things. So, okay, we're back here. This feels like a command handler to me, does it not? What's with me sneezing today? Where is this class under again? It's under AMS. Nah. Let's open up GDA for this. com.adups folder AMC. What was it? core.c. And which is the one that fails at? A. This is the one where it takes the package item. Oh, that's nothing special then. I'm more curious about the one for the bitmap one. Okay, this probably builds the HTTP request. Takes the response and decodes it as a bitmap. But why? Some.url. Okay, this one doesn't look that suspicious, I think. Yeah, this is just to change the appearance. So when is this class ever called? AMC pack service. a second. I'll be right back. Need to take a tiny little break. Okay, I'm back. Okay, this part looks normal. Sorry, I'm not speaking much, by the way. Just focusing a little bit. Oh yeah, what actually causes web activity? Okay. GP link. Windows will download APK. That dial in is still very weird though. It's just more so that kind of just opens up the dialer and opens up the target phone number, and that's about it. Doesn't really like call or anything. And one thing I'm more interested in is whether there's anything SMS related. I suppose we can look at GDA for that. GDA. Unless it freezes. Okay, there we go. This was com AAA dot B dot A. Okay. Ooh, okay. Telephony, phone, telephony package name. Gets an operator Gemini. GSM stands for, sorry, I mean Gemini. Enhanced mobile equipment new implementation. This is a real thing. No, I think that's not a real thing. Okay, get subscribe ID Gemini. This is a very roundabout way to calling it. Which once again suggests it's trying to evade detection. So that will receive the IMSI number. Sim1 IMSI Sim 2. Operator Sim 1. Operator Sim 2. Android telephony, MSIM telephony manager. Default data subscription. Okay, let me just get SIM card. Get group ID level 1. Get target SIM info. Okay, so let's summarize what we know so far. We know it could install and or install as super user if root is available. Package for user can also collect SIM related information that includes the IMEI, IMSI, and phone number as well. We know there is a command handler like method, which collects things like which downloads additional APK. Can also start a phone intent for whatever reason. What else is there? Domain name parsing. This gets the system information. Humanize bytes. It's a file size. Get sync mid by network time. I guess that explains why I contact Baidu at launch. Just check time. One thing I still want to find is whether or not it actually passes the SMS data anywhere. Our favorite PM that installs back. com.android.vending. That's the old marketplace. Package ID. Okay. Settings, put global package verifier enable 0. Wait, what? Global dot package. Sorry, global. No, I mean package verifier enable. So this disables package verifier, which is typically used by, you know how there's things for scanning Google apps. I mean, things from Google that scans apps. Yeah, it turns that off. What is that called? Why would you turn that off? Let's give it the benefit of the doubt, and let's say this thing really does do OTA updates. The things that it does during this update are still very dodgy and dubious at best. Ah, yes, this is illness. Oh my god, these Chinese English dude. Who's this implemented by? Why is it download simulator? What the heck is going on? Yeah, I know it says it's probably faking the update, but still. Like, clearly it's not just, like, faking the progress bar or whatever. It actually does more than that. Didn't we see B earlier? Hello? Oh. Yeah, it actually does download the update zip. I don't know what the heck that simulator is for. Okay. Sorry, where are we again? We are in for the download. Yeah, we know it usually just says that, but I do think, based on what I'm seeing, it actually does attempt to download an update if there is one. If that is. So it seems to check that by reporting the device IMEI and what else? Well, update APK, RTF, OTA, update the IPK. Oh yeah, we've been here before. I more or less want to see what the general consensus on is on Baidu. See what the Chinese think. Sorry, I know you guys can't see what I'm seeing. Give me a little bit. Okay, yeah, like I thought, there are some existing reports of ADUPS. Ah, great. Of course, the blog post is down. What web archive it is. So there are actually some quote-unquote legitimate documentation for ADUPS. So ADUPS is owned by a company in China called Guangshen. They're known for over-the-air firmware updates. Their clients include MobileSoft, HP, Intel, ZT, and Xinlang. But they're also known to be dodgy as heck. Let's see. No, that's not what I'm looking for. So CryptoWire actually claimed that a lot of data is actually sent back. And being uploaded to ADUPS's domain. Thing is, we're not seeing it in this particular APK. Then again, there's also another APK we haven't looked at, which is for update reboot. The one we've been looking at is for update. Also take a look at that one as well. Oh yeah, speaking of, go back to that previous newsletter thing. So this newsletter, of course, it's officially from a news media from China, and it's basically saying what CryptoWire is saying is quote-unquote bogus at best. It says the software is created by Guangshen, this company, and they're like the CryptoWire blog is directly addressing the CryptoWire post, and this company basically says, "Oh, we fixed it immediately. Oh, don't worry. All the data we collected, for any of the users that were using the blue smartphone that were affected by this, oh, don't worry. We removed all the data collected from this." And they were like, "Oh, the data we collected, it's just for telemetry." just quote unquote big data. And it's not anything being used, it's not being used for malicious purposes. Which, you know, take that for what you will. Also, hello Drifter. Feel better soon? I'm just tired, more or less. I need some sleep. You need a vacation, I know. I don't think Monster really helps, honestly. Okay, as expected, you're not going to be able to find a whole lot of information about this thing. Oh, someone actually wrote a paper about. Okay, I wouldn't say this is exactly a hopeful paper. I want to look at the reboot APK one. What is in here anyways? What? What's the string check for? Oh, it's just a hash. Delete package. Install package. What do you mean by OMG? Why is there a string just called OMG? OTA PSA. Dangerous but what? Dangerous APK had been modified. Prompt danger. This over dot service recovery service. What do you mean recovery service? What? Oh. Hey, we saw this exact same thing in the other APK, but like this one is, they forgot to obfuscate this one. All the method names are actually still here. The other one was like basically sanitized. Wow, they were really just plopping all that into a database, huh? But why? Okay. This one isn't as bad as the other one. That's a normal library. Don't care about this one. Pull up binder. Let's see. System. Bin. These are just pre-installed apps. Pull off a phone, yeah. More specifically, the full update one. So I'm actually surprised it didn't use any external libraries at all. So far, all of what we've seen is just pure Java based. It doesn't even bother to like load additional DX. For library. Yeah, no ISO for me. Okay, so honestly, I think that's good enough to draw a conclusion. I would not trust anything that's anything ADUPS makes. Especially given this, apparently it had history as well. And I think that's the majority of the welcome devices that S'mores ever looked at. I think almost all of them use the same updater from ADUPS. But still, I'm still not finding that culprit that would allegedly pass SMS on to elsewhere. But the fact that it's sending so much data back, including the SIM card info back, is enough. And that it also tries to install a bunch of things. Not finding the culprit, possible part 2. I mean, honestly, I still think it's good enough to like just call it to be malicious regardless, given what we've seen so far. Have I seen command service before? Oh yeah, I have. I don't know what this reset wallpaper deal is. Hang on. Y0 IWOBO and Z3. Looks encoded more than anything. Hang on. No, it's just like that. Is there supposed to be something here? Why is this an empty if statement? Yeah, I think reset wallpaper doesn't do anything. It's empty for whatever reason. We could check the Smiley to double check. Where is it? In the A method. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Okay, I guess that reset wallpaper is just there doing nothing. Okay, create directories. Crash handler. Is there a known download URL supposedly reach out to or obfuscate until runtime? Yeah, we know it downloads from foda.adups.com. The problem is, this is fairly old by now. I'm pretty sure the quote-unquote C2 is already down. So we can't really even figure out what else is on there. I don't know if we wanted to. This is from like really old device. Or I wouldn't say really old device, but like the date it's created is like 2017 or whatever. Even though this is still being sold like years later. Yeah, look at that APK release date. So, just for a rundown of what we know so far, is that this ADUPS OTA updater, first of all, while it does try to receive and retrieve additional updates, I don't believe there's ever been a case where S'mores actually found an update for his devices. And we know that it'll also try to install additional APKs, which is, you know, par for the course. If it's truly an updater, I don't think that's necessarily out of the scope for what it should do. But it'll also try to install SU if root is available. We know that it'll pass a huge amount of SIM card related info back to the updater server. I've also seen a few strange oddities in there where it would open up the dialer to open up the selected phone for whatever phone info, whatever phone number the C2 sends back, it'll try to open it in the dialer intent, which is really strange. But what else? Oh yeah, it also disables the package verifier from Google Play. So that means the installed app will not be scanned by Google Play. Was there anything I missed? I think there are a few more things, but based on what we've seen thus far, I would not trust anything that has this installed. And that seems to be a majority of the welcome devices. Oh yeah, this is where it triggers the our recovery service. Our recovery service was found on the other FODA reboot APK. This sounds like just the loader missing stage 2. I mean, we know that it can also the fact that it can install additional APK and trigger the second APK is a good enough stage 1, yeah. Of course, we're never gonna get stage 2 because, first of all, the C2 is down, well, updated service, whatever you want to call it, and I would have to assume the attacker will have to deploy the additional APK if it wants to. And based on what we've seen on Baidu, it seems like they got a slap on the wrist when this happened, when they were found out to be quote-unquote malicious. 7 to 8 years ago. From the public reports we've seen, it seems like China was like, oh, okay, make sure not to do it again. So in case you weren't here when we read the news article earlier, they were like, oh, they were found to be collecting mass amounts of data and creating backdoors for phones, according to this U.S. security research company. And the company responded, responsible for making a DUPS firmware updater, was like, oh, it's just for telemetry. It's for quote-unquote big data. It has, when the report got out, we were immediately removed the relevant code from the updater, and oh yeah, by the way, the security company that did the research alleged that SMS call logs and whatnot were being sent back, which we're not seeing in this particular backdoor, or at least this particular quote-unquote updater. But yeah, the company was responsible was like, oh, we deleted all of the data that we collected. Oh, don't worry about it. And nothing has ever come around ever since. Just overall very dodgy. That's the thing with these Chinese phones, is you're never really sure what actually gets installed in your phone. I mean, I guess that could be the same could be said for any company, really. But I think it's particularly egregious with ADUPS, because this the firmware updater they allegedly make is present on many cheap Chinese devices, it seems. Now, what advice do I have? Well, of course, always buy from known manufacturers, reputable ones. Now, unless you're S'mores, who is, I admire the how he's been buying all these welcome phones, and he's like basically not afraid of anything that might happen on the devices. But yeah, if you're ever like wanted to use these phones legitimately, like just don't cheap out, dude. I would avoid Chinese manufacturers in general, just because of that. I'm not specifically talking about like non-brands, like these clearly rip-off devices, but Chinese brands in general. I guess while we're at it, let's also talk about a few other Chinese companies that are that I don't particularly like. So the main one that I want to talk about will be Xiaomi. Xiaomi is like one of the most popular Chinese brands out there. Now, of course, there was never really like a substantial claim against Xiaomi, whether or not they engage in cyber espionage related activities. But there are a few things I don't like about the company. Most notably, well, there's the labor-related concerns. You know, all their products are extremely cheap, and usually with decent quality as well. But when something is being sold for decent quality and at an affordable price, that usually means someone out there is getting exploited for that. So that might, and based on what we know about China, is that unfair working conditions and forced laborers is a thing there. So that's one thing when it comes to morality related things. And the other thing that's much less acceptable is the bootloader unlocking policy. So if you try to ever unlock a bootloader on your Xiaomi device, you'll know that they collect a lot of data when you try to unlock your bootloader. So I think that includes your. I forgot. I used to write. I wrote a short tweet on it a while back. That includes the things that they collect. I think it was IMEI, phone number, email, username, location, or something. I forgot. Like, it was an egregious amount of data just for you to use the unlock tool. Yeah, the Xiaomi unlock tool is like pretty cancerous. Last time I tried, the reason why I know this is not because I own the Xiaomi device, but someone came to me and was like, "Oh, can you help me unlock this phone?" I was like, "All right, I guess I'll try," but I'm not installing that unlock tool on my computer, so I installed it in a VM. And I was like, yeah, that should be enough. If it's just I gotta run this thing, plug the phone in, select OEM unlock, whatever. I thought that would be enough, but no, it requires a Xiaomi account as well. And on top of that, I think it also wants your phone number to do like phone verification or whatever. And if I remember correctly, it also upfront tells you what types of data it collects when you unlock your phone. Which was just like, yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, it requires the egregious amount of data. It's just like, maybe not. What else? There are two other major brands that I know of, but I've never personally tried, which is Oppo and Vivo. I would say Oppo is like behind Xiaomi in terms of popularity, or at least global, reputation-wise. I've never tried to use or unlock any Oppo devices. Oppo and Vivo on the same company. Yeah, I know OnePlus and Oppo have the same parent company. Didn't know Vivo was the same as well, although it's not that hard to guess. The thing about those is I've never really used them, so I can't really give any comment. But the main reason why I don't like them as much is, aside from the same Chinese origin, is that they've kind of just been all over the place here in Taiwan, which is kind of insane if you think about it. Given how politically sensitive this is. I've seen a lot of major carriers actually carry like huge ads for, especially Vivo. I think Vivo is like decently popular here. I actually see them run ads very often at like very major or high profile places, including places like Metro, public transits, and whatnot. I don't really have anything substantial to say about them, as in like I don't have like any concrete proof as to why they're bad. But I also don't think they're particularly great at anything either. Their software updates hasn't been. I think their software update track records has been okay. OnePlus. At one point, I actually really liked using OnePlus. And that was back when people already started to know when OnePlus was owned by the same parent company, which is BBK. The last time I used the OnePlus was OnePlus 3T, and that was actually a fairly easy unlocking process, and I could install all the custom ROMs I wanted, which is great. But I still don't know if I would trust any of them, and I don't know what OnePlus is up to these days. I don't know what they're doing these days, aside from, I think the last time I heard anything related was it is nothing related to OnePlus? It wasn't like the founder or whatever that went on to make nothing phones. Yeah, I think that was the last time I heard anything about OnePlus. I don't know what they're up to these days, but I personally have fewer problems with OnePlus, but that was way back in the day. I don't know what they're up to these days. The reason why I'm kind of skeptical about OnePlus is because it is still owned by the same parent company as the other Dodgy. Oh, I wouldn't say Dodgy, but like other major Chinese phones. And I know otherwise I know OnePlus has been kind of okay in terms of, or at least back when I had a OnePlus device. These days, though, I feel like OnePlus's pricing has been pretty meh. Speaking of, you know what? Let's look it up. What is OnePlus up to these days? What was the last phone? Check GSM Arena. Oh yeah, there's also a Poco. I think Poco is owned by Xiaomi, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. Oops. And OnePlus. Wow, I didn't know they have so many different devices now. What the heck? I've never heard of any of these. I think I did hear about the OnePlus Open. They're foldable. I didn't even know they made watches. Holy crap, when did they make so many devices? I've never seen them in stores either, and at least not here. I've heard of Nord. Like, I've heard of the original Nord. I don't know. I've never seen any of these newer ones. nor does like their great value version phone. I have to imagine they're probably popular in places like India or whatever. Let's see, what's the MSRP? Oh yeah, it runs that Color OS thing. Yeah, back in my day, OnePlus phones were still running mostly stock Android. Oh yeah. That's Indian currency, right? Yeah. Are these are sorted by time of release? Wow, I didn't even know they made phones in as late as March 2024. Yeah, I remember a few things about some of the apps sending telemetry data or whatever back to OnePlus, but like there wasn't anything that's substantial that came out of it. But if it runs custom firmware, that I guess I'm a little bit more okay with, but you also wouldn't know what else is stuffed in the bootloader. That's the thing. Although I feel like if there were anything really concerning, I'm sure people would have found out by now. Probably. Oh yeah, there was also Realme. Realme is another popular brand here. Realme was mostly known for their value, I think. Not much for like flagship stuff. Although I know they do have flagship devices, remember correctly. Realme isn't. It's like one of these devices that I wouldn't really trust either. It's like below Oppo. I haven't seen ZT make any phone lately. Didn't they make foldables for a little while? Yeah, that one. Yeah, that wasn't very recent. I remember that one. But yeah, all of these... Didn't Dodgy also make something very similar to Welcome phones at some point? ZT has a flip phone. Oh, the Nubia flip? I remember that one. I remember seeing it. Wait, I think he did mention it, right? Yeah. Yeah, I remember him mentioning that. What is this funky ass looking design? What is that back? Where are all the cameras so far apart? And that extra red dot. What is going on here? $800. Oh yeah, there's also V. I guess I wouldn't basically I wouldn't suggest. I wouldn't. Wow, I just realized half of the phones listed here are like Chinese. Wow, that's a lot. Well, I wouldn't say that you know, non-Chinese phones are also trustworthy, because a lot of times when you look at these brands, you might think, oh, I don't think they're Chinese. But if you look any deeper, you know, they might have their company located in places that aren't China, but their parent company or whoever runs it might be Chinese. And I wouldn't say non-Chinese phone doesn't necessarily mean it's safe. For all we know, they're also unsafe, quote unquote unsafe, manufacturers or phone or systems. Like if you really want anything secure, I feel like these days you'll probably have to get Pixel phones, and I don't mean that as in like run stock Android. I mean, for Google devices, probably just run probably flash Graphene OS if I were you. Unfortunately for me, I have a Sony phone, and I haven't seen any good custom ROMs for Sony phones over the last half a decade or so. Which is a shame. I really would like to daily drive Graphene OS at some point. But their main focus seems to be supporting Google devices only for now. Speaking of, how much is the Xperia 1.6 in EU? Ooh, 1244. How much is 1244 euro? Let me change that in NTD. Ooh, wow, you guys have it rough. Ooh. Europeans have it rough. It's like 44,000 Taiwan dollars. That would be like what? Did that in US dollars? Our MSRP is definitely not that high. Yeah, I'll take the most basic version you have. Oh, the red version is back in stock. Ooh, that is tempting. But that is expensive as well. I don't have that money right now. It's like that in euro. It's like what, at least 200 euro less. No, it's actually more like 100. But still. I have the Xperia 1.4. Oh, hello. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, Sony devices, I generally would not recommend you grabbing one unless the price makes sense, which most of the time it does not. If you look at especially the Xperia 1.6, the one that's just released, the specs are pretty, not like the most amazing thing for that price. Like it's great, don't get me wrong, but like not for that price. It's also not coming to US, I believe, if you're a US resident. Right now, it's only planned for a European release, and the red color isn't even coming to EU either. I think the red color is only coming to the East Asian market, which is kind of concerning. I have a feeling the Xperia line might die soon at this rate. Yeah, the red was actually pretty good. Here, let me bring up the picture, because I did on the day that the release trailer dropped. I went to our official Sony store, and by the time I arrived, they had just set up the display unit, like literally 30 seconds before I got there, according to the clerk. Here, let me find it. The thing is, I just had my Xperia 1.4 repaired like a month or two ago. Okay. So that's the phone. Or at least that's the ad for it. That there's the actual phone display. And they had the red version out on display when I got there. They also had other versions on there, but they're not powered on. The red was really nice in the hand. Or at least to look at, I mean. The device in general feels much better compared to other 1 series from before. Because it has this textured back. I don't know if you can tell, but the back is textured this time. Whereas before it was like completely smooth, and if you put your phone on the tabletop, it might slip off if you don't have a case. It's a lot better this time. Yeah, I think it's a lot better to see with that light shining on it. But yeah, I generally would not recommend a Sony device unless the price makes sense for you. Because this phone does not make any sense at like 1,200 euro or whatever. I feel like it's more like a 800 euro device than 1,200. Even 800 is kind of pushing it. It honestly feels more like 600 to 700. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with 12 Pro Max until it dies and see what I'll get. Yeah, I generally tend to stick with my phone until it's like either my phone gets stolen or my phone is damaged beyond repair and I can't be bothered with the repair, or if the security update lapses, which at the moment I'm not entirely sure if my 1.4 is still supported. I definitely still got a security update this month, or last month, May, but not sure if that'll be the last one, because the last few, I think before Xperia 1.5 or 1.6, it was like 2 years of security updates. I think it was like 3 years of OS update, 2 years of security updates. No, I mean the other way around. 3 years of security updates, 2 years of OS updates, or something abysmal like that. So I'm not entirely sure if I'm still gonna be getting an update next month. As for iOS, I personally do keep an iPhone as well. That's mainly because, when I do this whole VTubing tracking setup, the best phone to do it with is still gonna be an iPhone 11 or above. Technically, you can do it with iPhone 10R as well, but it won't do as well. The one I have is like the most bare minimum, which is the 12 mini. Which I really like the size of it as a companion device. But the main problem I have with this phone is like its battery is abysmal. Like, even if I go out a whole day with it in my pocket and not use it at all, it'll somehow die within 24 hours. It's like awful. I know it's also well known that it's bad, but like it's like bad. It doesn't help that I think the battery capacity is like 75% now on mine. But yeah, with that being said, unless there's something really major that happens with the iPhone, especially if it's VTubing related. Otherwise, I think I'll still keep mine around until like security update lapses, which is like forever away since that's iOS. That's the thing with the software support. Apple still definitely does that much better in that regard. Now, in terms of general usability, though, I still kind of prefer my Android. That said, I also kind of handicap my iPhone a little bit because I do use it with lockdown mode on, which means a lot of things will not work properly, especially like anything browser related. A lot of things will just straight up not work or not render properly. I guess another thing I don't like about iPhone is that side loading is really a hassle. I still like use sideloadly on my iPhone to sideload a few mod apps, but you can without paying for like or renting a developer license or whatever. You can only do like 3 apps at best, or 4, I forgot. And it was just like really annoying, and like you have to renew it every 7 days or so. If you're gonna be away for more than 7 days, good luck running those apps, because after a while it'll just be like, yep, this app is no longer available. And sometimes you can get away with reopening the apps in the Recents app, and sometimes that'll work, but after like another day or 2, it'll just stop working. That's a major gripe I have with iPhone. So I still don't think I'll switch anytime soon. That said, if Sony the Xperia line ever dies, I'll probably switch to Google. Honestly, I had a Pixel for the longest time. I mean, not for the longest time, but like I had it for a little while. It was so before the Pixel series came out, I actually had a 6P for a little while, for like a year, for like 2 years or something. I do not have a good memory of that phone. I love the camera; it was great. The problem was that thing overheated like crazy, and overall, it's just I had a lot of issues with it. I think it's mostly to do with thermals. I think that one was like 810 or Snapdragon 810 or whatever, 808. I forgot which one it was. It was that one was like horrible. And then I forgot if I got the 3T first, OnePlus 3T first, or the 6P first. Either way, my next Google device was like the Pixel 3. What's the other one? It was like the base 3, and then oh yeah, I got a 3XL for a little while, I believe. I actually quite like that phone. But then 4 came around. 4 was like very controversial, if I remember correctly. It's like not great compared to 3. And then after that, I just haven't tried any of the Google devices. I think after a while I sold my Pixel 3 XL, because I think I broke the display or something. I forgot. Otherwise, I just wasn't having a good time with it. I forgot what exactly. So then that was when I switched to the. Oh yeah, now I remember why I switched away from Pixel. It was the camera. Google's computational photography is great. The problem is I'm not the type of person that relies 100% on computational photography. I'm more of a manual mode type of person, and like yeah, you can install third-party pro mode camera apps, but like it's usually not great in my experience. So the main reason why I switched over to a Sony device was because of the pro mode that the Xperia devices had for a long while. The one I switched to was the Xperia 1 2, not the same 1 4 I have right now. The 1 2 was great, actually. I didn't feel the need to upgrade at all. The main reason why I ever upgraded was because the phone was stolen. And I was like, okay, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna get 1 2. I don't think I'm gonna get the same phone again. Let's just upgrade to whatever's the newest. And so I bought a secondhand 1 4. It was like ridiculously expensive now I think about it. It was like, even buying used, it was like $800 like, oof, expensive. I've been seeing like Google devices everywhere for a little while though. A lot. Initially, our carrier didn't really catch on until like the Pixel 4 came around. Otherwise, before that, it was like not exactly easy to pick up a Pixel device. And it was around 4 that they started partnering with our local carriers. And now it's like heavily advertised everywhere. You know, whatever kind of came with the Pixel Fold? I know it's still around, but like I barely hear anyone using it. Wasn't it like actually not that expensive, $1,000 or euro. Google is switching to TSMC for manufacturing a fully custom CPU designed for the 10. That would be nice. Although, I'm also a little worried that Pixel phones are eventually gonna be like fully Google, like, as in like they're probably gonna lock it down at some point. I always have that worry in me. Not that I use Pixel phone anyways. It's just I worry about projects like Graphene OS and other third-party ROMs. I know Google devices are basically like the most widely available third-party ROMs ecosystem, but who knows? It's Google, dude. Oh, the Pixel Watch is only €200. Wow. I quite like the recent designs though. I think they look nice. Although it doesn't really look much that different starting from, I guess 7 and 8 kind of looks more or less the same. I guess 6 and 7 had a bit of a change as well. I know they recently announced the 8A. Yeah, it was like last month. Anyways, so I think it's about time that I wrap up with today's stream. Let's, yeah, I think I've recapped whatever happened today enough. Basically, don't touch any of the phones that has the 80 UPS updater on there. I would not trust it with a 10-foot pole, and even then, Chinese phones in general, I've seen a few things. If I remember correctly, I've seen like a firmware or two that has like additional libraries that are like bad, and like even without these security concerns or the potentially malicious app in mind, there's also, they barely get any security updates because they're made as cheaply as possible. Of course, don't expect securities software support. Anyways, is there anyone I can raid? Because I am actually very tired. I think I'm gonna go lay down. Following anyone? Why am I seeing Ableton on software and game development? What? Okay, you know what? I'm not seeing anyone I can raid. Let's go to Twitch front page. Let's raid for smaller streamers. Someone's doing subathon. Alright, well, go say hi to this random VTuber that I don't know. Hope I have a good stream. I'm playing Overwatch 2, apparently. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for stopping by. I know today hasn't been like the most exciting stream. I think this is probably the most low energy REWorkshop we've ever done. But I still think we made decent enough progress today. Oh, can't rate them. Okay, they have raid disabled. Well, in that case, I'm not gonna rate then. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.